All right, champs. So this is a full day of eating for me. I am a lifter, a possible aspiring bodybuilder. I'm not sure yet. I just really love lifting, so we'll see where that goes. And I'm also running and building my coaching business as a 21-year-old. So my cognition, my health, my physique are all very important to me. I'm currently 5'11", like I'm gonna fucking grow. 175 pounds, I'd say about 14% body fat, and I am cutting down to around 11-12%. So this will be my deficit day of eating. I'm gonna do my best to break down every meal that I have and explain the reasoning why I have these certain meals that I do, give you some tips around nutrition and fat loss, and do my best to entertain you. So I'm gonna start making one of these every week on different topics around my approach to fitness and my journey, and also just other tips that I feel like might help you. So hopefully it's entertaining, hopefully it's valuable, and hopefully this can become the video that you watch while eating your meal, and that'll be fucking awesome. I would really appreciate that. So hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm gonna post the full macros and micro breakdown at the end of the video. Just to remind you, this is my first ever YouTube video, so just bear with me because I did kind of fuck up the first clip of my pre-workout meal because I forgot you have to record landscape and not vertical. So just bear with it, watch it. It's not that bad. If you really need to, skip by it. But there is some valuable stuff about how to structure your pre-workout meal, so we're gonna get you tapped in. All right, what's going on, champs? It is currently 6 a.m. and pre-workout meal is going down. So I've been training in the mornings recently, which I didn't do before. So now our pre-workout nutrition matters a little bit more than it did before because we're training fasted. So we have to make sure that we are in a good state to have a good lift. So I'll walk you through what the spread is we got here. First thing, we got our little ghost mug. It's cute. We got 12 grams of creatine in here, mixed in with some boiling water. I kind of slept like shit, and there's some studies showing that higher doses of creatine when your sleep is poor can improve performance. So we mix it in some boiling water so it digests a little bit better, because 12 grams of creatine can fuck with the gut a little bit. We don't want to do that. The biggest thing we want out of our pre-workout meal is, one, to elevate our blood sugar so that when we're training, our blood sugar stays stable. 2 is to get us hydrated. And remember, hydration is more than just water. So we want to have some sodium, some potassium and magnesium, which we get from this coconut water. So we're gonna mix these together, drink that. And then I'm gonna have my pre-workout, which I have about a half scoop of this, so about 150 milligrams of caffeine. I'm very anal about my gym performance because I'm not a guy who builds muscle super easily. So I want everything to be pretty dialed in. So there is an exact ratio that I go off of for my carb and water intake in the morning. I'll pop it up on the screen. So this is what the research tells us is best for improving our training performance. So I'm slapping on like a tablespoon. I usually measure this, but I know what a tablespoon looks like. So I'm not that worried about it. Onto my banana of maple syrup. And I'll throw on a little bit of salt in there. And I will pour up my glass of coconut water with about, I'd say, a half teaspoon of salt. So I'm getting around 1,000 milligrams of salt, or about a gram of salt, with this meal. And I'm also getting about 800 milligrams of potassium. So we get a pretty good balance on our electrolytes with about a whole bottle of water. So that leads me to about, fucking garbage trucks going on, but that leads me to about 1 liter of water and around 70 grams of carbs. The rest of the carbs come from this. This is just, you can see this. This is 1 cup of coconut water and 1 cup of orange juice. So this is what I drink like on the way to the gym and as an intro workout. I'll talk about the intro workout when we're in the car. Just gonna make my little makeshift funnel and pour up my pre-workout. Another mistake a lot of people make with their pre-workout meal is having their caffeine like as they're walking into the gym. I see people having their Monster as they step through the doors of the gym, which is not a good idea because caffeine actually needs time to metabolize and break down. So you should be having your caffeine about an hour before you lift. What I recommend is have your pre-workout meal about 60 to 90 minutes before you train, and have your caffeine about an hour before you train. So I'm having a half scoop here. I'm going to, oh fuck. Okay, let's just waste half of my pre-workout on the table. That's great, motherfucker. Okay, I guess that's all the caffeine we're meant to have today. That's okay. We're gonna finish eating this, We are going to drink our coconut water, and then we are going to drink this right after, so it has about an hour to digest before going into the workout. All right, champs, we're heading to the gym. So, intra workout, I have my coconut water and orange juice. Intra workout is pretty much just to keep your blood sugar stabilized while you train, so it doesn't drop down while we're exerting ourselves. And also, having carbs going through your system just mitigates fatigue a little bit, which is nice for training. So just sip on this between sets. I usually finish it by around the last set of my lift. Also, another pro tip, on your way to the gym, if you don't want to waste time warming up, you can just put the fucking heat on the car all the way up and turn your AC on high. And then your buns get nice and toasty, and you don't have to warm up that much when you go lift because your muscle temperature is already up. All right, we got a pretty big set of leg press. And I know a lot of you, when you do heavy leg press, you feel like your head's gonna explode when you're bringing the weight down. So if you wanna fix that, breathe in deep and slow, pause, as you're coming down, not just at the top. So breathe in as you lower it, hold in at the bottom, hold in as you start pressing, then exhale to finish the rep. So as you're locking out, that's when you wanna exhale. That should help the head pressure. Two other things here, squat shoes, because my ankle mobility is shit. These are so worth it. These are the Nike Romaleos. I definitely recommend getting a pair if your ankle mobility is not that good. And use your straps to lock yourself down into the seat. It'll help you stay more locked into the set. One more. All right, and that was probably still one rep in the tank. So if your last rep doesn't look something like that, you're probably not fucking training hard. So we finished up legs, now we're in our little secret posing room, which is really just the back rooms of my gym. You know, I always just hope nobody walks in here because that'd be kind of awkward, but it is what it is. Legs have really been growing a lot over this last year since I've been getting smarter about my training and more consistent with nutrition, so that's lovely. Legs have always been a real weak point for me, so it's really nice to see them coming up now. Hamstrings, calves, the calves are growing. Now we're back home and we're about to get started on breakfast, but before we do that, I gotta take my check-in photos and send them in to Coach. I will put those up on the screen in a second when I'm making breakfast. Meal 2 of the day, our post-workout meal, which I just wanna let you guys know it took me like an hour to get everything set up and pretty for you guys to film this, so I'm fucking hungry and I hope you appreciate it. But for this meal, we got 3 pieces of beautifully toasted sourdough, 2 whole eggs, about 100 grams of egg whites, 50 grams of kimchi, and about 130 grams of sweet potato. So this meal is pretty carb heavy. All right, we finished training, so we're insulin sensitive. We wanna get carbs back in the system. We have our kimchi for gut health. We have some more simple carbohydrates and then more complex carbohydrates. And we have some healthy fats to slow down digestion. And then we have our little blueberries for dessert. A little bit of extra fiber. This is like a perfect meal. Very micronutrient dense, easy on digestion, tastes good. Lovely stuff. Before we eat this, I usually take my supplements, which I laid out here all pretty for you guys. So we have saffron. This is for mood support. It helps me with anxiety because I'm very fucking prone to anxiety. You guys will realize that I have a lot of weird niche issues. We have vitamin D, just for general health. We have magnesium L-threonate, which is actually new. I just started taking this. It's the only form of magnesium that crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it seems to have pretty good benefits for cognitive and mental health support. And you know, I need that, so this should help me out with my funny brain. And then omega-3, once again, general health, heart health, mental health, very good supplement. Everyone should be taking these. Saffron is more niche, right? If you have problems with stress and anxiety, definitely worth taking. While I munch down this meal, as I talked about in the beginning, I'm trying to push myself to get down to like 11-12% body fat. And one thing all of us are gonna go through when you're cutting is when you start passing that like 15%, when your abs start to come through and you're getting leaner, you suddenly start to look worse, right? Like you get flatter, your muscles look less full, you look smaller, you feel stupid. And that's the point you have to work on pushing through mentally to get to the point that you want to be leanest wise. Because if I'm being honest, there's a lot of days where I look in the mirror, I'm like, fuck, I should just go back to maintenance. I should go back to growing. I feel small. I feel stupid. Push through it. Because when you come back into that maintenance phase, when you reverse out of the diet and you start filling back out and you're actually at the leanest that you want it to be, now you can maintain that and grow for the next 6 months to a year while staying leaner and looking sick. You're gonna be much happier. If you duck out of the diet now, then you're gonna go back to maintenance and you might not be as lean as you want it to be and you'll feel a little shitty about it. At least that's how I see it. So if you're in a cut right now and you're experiencing that, keep pushing. Let's get shredded. All right, it's about 2:30 p.m. now and we got meal 3. This is my favorite meal of the day. I've been having this same meal for the last like 7 months and I fucking love it every time. I don't even put any sauce on here because the flavor combinations of everything together, it's peak. We got 150 grams of white rice, 175 grams of sweet potato, 50 grams of kimchi, 50 grams of avocado, 100 grams of green beans, and 150 grams of chicken. Everything is just nicely salted. I like to put cinnamon on my rice. One, because it has some insulin sensitivity benefits, but it also just fucking kind of tastes good. I also eat my rice cold, so you guys might think I'm weird, but it's really good. While I eat this, I wanted to talk about a topic of food dopamine. Because I know a lot of you, when you go into a deficit, you start spamming all your food with sugar-free sauces, sugar-free sweeteners, all these little diet hacks to make food more fun. But what ends up happening is your food now gives you a higher spike of dopamine. The more that we spike our dopamine, especially early on in the day, the more cravings that we get because we kind of fry those receptors and now our ability to do hard things goes down. But if you can make your meals more boring, one, they still fucking taste good. Like, this is an amazing meal. If you get used to not frying your dopamine all the time, this will taste really good. But two, it'll just make it easier to adhere to your diet. So try back-loading your dopamine. Keep your first couple of meals of the day pretty boring. Don't put too much sauce on them. No crazy seasoning. And then have 1 or 2 meals at the end of the day that you can really look forward to. Like my yogurt bowl, which you'll see later, is a sweet, fun, cold, refreshing snack that I always look forward to. When you have something like that, it's easy to push through being a little hungry throughout the day. That way, when you get to that last meal, you're like, now I can fuck this up. Now I can eat the thing that really tastes good and like gives me the dopamine. We're gonna tuck into this, and then I'm going to finish editing some content, including this YouTube video, and get back to some client form reviews. So we'll see you at the next meal. All right, gangsters, we are still at the desk here. I just finished up this meal. I realized I haven't been saying how much water I've been drinking. We had about 1 liter of water with this meal and about 500 milliliters with our first meal. So we're staying well hydrated. Look at the desk setup. I want to show you, this is what it looked like literally until yesterday. And I've been working here for like 8 months, long hours at this piece of shit. But yeah, it's coming together pretty nicely now. I'm pretty happy. It's definitely much more fun to work when your desk doesn't look terrible. We do have these shelves and a little pegboard over here that I'm gonna set up. Probably around here I'll put the pegboard and then maybe the shelves beside it. That way I can, put some stuff up there, put some supplements, make it a little bit more homey. That way working is more fun and we're more inspired to do cool stuff. So on to meal 4 for the day. We got some exciting stuff now. Got 165 grams of ground beef. It is about 7 p.m., 6:30 p.m. So about 3.5 hours, 4 hours since my last meal. And then I'll wait another 2 hours before having my last meal of the day and we'll go to sleep. So yeah, we got 165 grams of lean ground beef, I think about 90-10. 200 grams of sweet potato, 100 grams of carrots, 100 grams of green beans, and then we put on some teriyaki sauce. We went a little crazy with this one. The day's ending. We can spike our dopamine up a little bit more and not worry about it. So I like to at least try to eat 1 or 2 meals outside during the day, get some sun on my skin, preferably in the morning, but it's been hot as fuck, so I did not go outside this morning. And then after this, I'll probably go for an evening walk, go see my girlfriend, maybe watch some Love Island, and have a good rest of the day. So I'm gonna eat this, and I'll see you at the next meal. All right, we got our last meal of the day, the meal I always look forward to, my yogurt bowl. We got non-fat Greek yogurt, half a scoop of whey, frozen blueberries, gotta be frozen, and then some PB2 mixed in with salt on the top. That's what makes it taste better and like actual peanut butter. And then we have our supplements, magnesium glycinate for sleep quality, and then the rest of our omega-3s to fill in those omega-3s for the day. This meal is pretty peak for bedtime because Greek yogurt is a casein protein. It digests a little bit slower, drips in overnight, helps with recovery. Blueberries get us some fructose, which restores liver glycogen, which is good for your sleep quality. And it just fucking tastes good. It's yummy. So it ends the day nicely. And now we're gonna watch Love Island and then go to sleep. So it's pretty peak night if you ask me. Okay, so that takes us to the end of our full day of eating. That is the same thing I eat pretty much every single day. I do have high and low days with my calories and macros. So that was a training day. As you saw, we worked out. We have a little bit more carbs, mainly through that pre-workout meal. Rest day is almost the exact same. We just don't have the pre-workout meal, obviously. And then we don't have as much rice with our lunch meal or our meal 3. So training day, as you just saw, we'll pop up the calories and macros up here. That was about 2,575 calories, 180 grams of protein, 300 grams of carbs, and 55 grams of fat. So I am in a deficit, so I do try to push up to that 1 gram per pound or even slightly more in protein just to make sure we continue to build muscle and don't lose any muscle in the cut, but we're definitely building muscle. Carbs, we get in 300 grams, which is awesome. We can fit in a good amount of carbs to support our training energy and our performance in the gym so we can continue to build more muscle. And that's why we keep fats a little bit lower. When I'm in a gaining phase, I will put my fats up a tiny bit higher, but this is more than enough to support our hormones and keep us healthy while still allowing a lot of space for us to push up our carb intake. So our micronutrients are dialed in, as you can see. We smash our fiber intake. I think we had about, what do we have? 45 grams of fiber? 46 grams of fiber. So fiber intake is fully taken care of. My digestion is good. It feels good on my stomach. That is perfect. We have our iron maxed out, vitamin C maxed out, vitamin B 97%, but we still get everything that we need to. Calcium is a tiny bit lower, but that's nothing we really have to worry about. Folate's maxed out, vitamin A, potassium. So going through the breakdown, as you can see, is crushed. We hit all of our targets on vitamin B. We don't need to be supplementing anything or taking a multivitamin for a B complex because I get it all through my food. The only thing that we see is a little bit low here in our vitamins is vitamin D, but that's fine because I have my vitamin D supplement that I take in the morning and that gets us well over the RDA. Vitamin E is slightly low, but once again, I'm not really worried about that. Our nutrition is good overall, and I feel good. Our fat intake is about 50-50 from monounsaturated fat and saturated, and our omega-3 to 6 ratio is 0.8 grams of omega-3 to 4.4 grams of omega-6, which is why we have our omega-3 supplement that we take, or EPA DHA. We take 2 capsules of this morning and night, so that gets me 3 grams of omega-3. That way our ratio comes out to be about 1-to-1. 1 gram of omega-3 to 1 gram of omega-6. That's what research shows us is a optimal amount. Having that 1-to-1 ratio between 1-to-1 and 1-to-4 is best for your health markers, inflammation, muscle recovery, brain health, all that stuff. So we try to aim for that. Protein, we obviously completely crush. All of the protein sources that we have were complete whole sources of protein with the full amino acid profile. So we are good on all aspects. And our minerals are pretty much all maxed out, once again, other than calcium and a little bit of zinc. But our copper, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium is very high. We get about 6,000 milligrams of potassium, which is really good for your hydration. I really do try to push my potassium up slightly higher than my sodium. Sodium says 2,000 grams or 2,000 milligrams, but it's most likely 4,000 because I do salt my food quite a lot, and this doesn't include anything that I add to my meals. Pre-workout meal alone, I'm adding about 1,000 milligrams of sodium. So we can say this is probably somewhere around 4,000 milligrams of sodium, 6,500 milligrams of potassium, and that puts me in a great place to be well hydrated and feel really good during my training. So this is my full day of eating. when I do come back into a maintenance phase or a growing phase, carbs are going to go way up. My last growing phase, I was at like 560 grams of carbs on my training days. So it definitely gets bumped up quite a bit. This is a place where I feel really good. I'm not really hungry on these calories. As long as I'm in my normal routine, I'm pretty busy, I have stuff going on. So I'm not thinking about food too much. My meals, when they're there, they come up, I eat them. This makes me feel pretty good. My gut health is in a good place. My skin has been looking really good. My hair is very healthy. My sleep has been awesome. My performance in the gym is good. Overall, the things that we put in our body do have a pretty big impact on our overall health. Not just your fitness, right? Getting shredded is awesome. Building more muscle is awesome. But the way that you feel, the way that you look, your skin health, hair health, nail health are all very fucking important. They come from the nutrition that we're eating through our diet. So, hope this was entertaining to watch. You know, if you guys want to copy it, go ahead. I'm not telling you to, but it's all good meals, right? Just adjust it to whatever you need in your calories and macros. But I hope this is inspiring to you to take care of what you're putting in your body and be a little bit more intentional with the meals that you're eating. Possibly get on a meal plan so you can have more structure to your days and make life easier and healthier for yourself. Because when we eat good, we feel good. And when we feel good, life is good. So I appreciate you guys tuning in a lot. It was cool doing my first video here, and I'm going to continue having these out. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe, drop something in the comments. That would be fucking awesome. And if you're watching this while eating a meal or something, post it on your story. Share it to someone else. I would fucking love you if you did that. So we can keep making these and keep making them better and better. We'll see you on the next one.